Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of FoFCast. Here tonight, we're going to talk about the Wheel of Time. And here with me, I have Chiv. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello, hello. Happy to be here as always, and looking forward to discussing the final two episodes of season two.
Oh, yeah. And I am your friendly neighborhood strider. I'm going to be the host tonight, as usual. I mean, but it is co-hosting. I'm just doing the more stressful part with the opening of the episode. Um, which usually I have to re-record because I mess up something, like saying my name is Strider. Yeah. So anyway, we are we are talking. We're gonna have a nice chat here. I'm looking forward to this because it's interesting two episodes. But before we go into that, just a quick shout out to our good old friend Nerdigans, the one person we know is watching these things. So shout out to you. You're awesome. Thank you for being with us. We'll just keep shouting you out for maybe for the rest of the Wheel of Time episodes that we're gonna do. So yeah, shout out to you and to all the other two, three, five people who might be joining Nerdigans. But yeah, with that said, also just a quick update is that there are no particular updates as far as we know in the Wheel of Time fandom regarding the TV show at least. As you can see here, the petition is has grown to 200,000 for 214,000 subscribers or like signatures. We are still hoping for some good news, but I feel like, and this is very sad to say, I feel like a lot of people are kind of coming to terms with the fact that there might not be hope, but a fool's hope is still hope, and we can hope that this show will somehow get picked up and saved because it's a great show and it's about to get even better because soon we're gonna move into season three. But yeah, with that said, I guess we can go right into it. So we'll be talking about the episodes 7 and 8. Episode 7 is Dae'mar, which I just realized now that I forgot to look up what that means. And episode 8, which is what was meant to be. We will be employing the new method that we have started last in the previous episode, which is we're going to discuss these two episodes through the lens of the three categories: the Groot, the Bat, and the Ugluk. So, what does this mean? Well, it means the good, the awesome, and the misunderstood. And with this, I think we can just go right into it. We'll discuss the misunderstood part. We'll talk about the Ugluk, and yeah, Shiv, tell us what are your three top Ugluk points you have for these two episodes.
All right, so hailing from the beginning ish of episode 8, Ingtar, if I'm pronouncing that right, gets killed in the battle like pretty quickly. I just feel like his death, like I didn't care about his death, so I think that's a problem. Like maybe we didn't
Yeah.
spend enough time with the character, or maybe the way he died wasn't powerful enough. But I remember that happening and just being like, "Wow, that was pretty sad,"
Mm.
and not in an emotional way. And then
Yeah,
like
I think that's a great point. Yeah, please go on.
And then like you think of like I hate how I'm comparing always to other things, but like Game of Thrones for a second, you think about like all the deaths in that show and like even characters that I felt like were maybe not introduced relatively quickly. The character that Pedro Pascal played, I think it was was it Sand
Alfred
Viper or
Martel.
the Viper? Yeah,
Yeah, nickname.
yeah. So he was like not really in the show too much, and like that whole battle sequence was just like, edge of the seat. You're like rooting for him and all that and everything that transpires after. And like I feel like it was earned even in that scene, and like a lot of people, like there was like a lot of chatter after the show on that. And yeah, this guy just like dies and it's like, all right, moving on. So that's my first Uglug. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would put like the whole fight kind of like basically the whole finale is like one big Ugluk in many ways, not completely obviously, but I feel like yeah, I think that that's exactly it. The fight did not feel like it mattered, like the stakes. The fight itself, it wasn't intense. I felt like they didn't know how to use the sets, how to like stage it, the whole thing. Uh like characters kept bumping into each other. This fight scene with Ingtar, like we saw him. We've been seeing him since season one, actually, and yeah, there was no build up. We didn't get there was no build up. Like we didn't see him that much being a great fighter, even though like you kind of know he should be and so on. And then he has that point. He makes the point where these corridors are so narrow. Like one man can hold off 50, and it's like, oh, cool. They are setting up the fact that he's gonna like do this last stand. He's gonna give them some time to like flee or whatever, and then like it takes about 15 seconds for him to die, and then there's even a shot of them looking at him dying. So like it was completely pointless. Like they stood there when he fought like five guys, five soldiers, and they just looked how like it was completely illogical. Like it's just not well done. Completely like undercooked, I think is maybe a good term for that. And and I feel like the whole almost like the entire big confrontation throughout the city of Valm was like I think there were good moments in it, but like I think that this is like by far the biggest one, I think. Or well, there's another one that we'll maybe get to soon, but it's connected to this. But yeah, that's my take on that. Do you have like an extra comment to this, or do you want to move to your second point?
So you had some critiques on kind of like the battle structure and how it was cut together. So I was trying to pull a quick uh cast and crew list, because one thing I noticed that you're probably well aware, I didn't catch it right away, but I know Wayne Yip was in he was a director on some of the episodes and in Rings of
Uh-huh.
Power, and then similarly Sanaa Hamri was also a director for Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. So I was trying to figure out who directed these two episodes, and I was pulling that up quickly, and looks like I clicked on the wrong page. Oh, painful. But anyway, I was just
Sana
curious.
Hami is this episode, and
Ooh.
episode 7 is Sana Hamri as well.
All right, so that's interesting. And I wonder what episode she did for Rings of Power, because there's a lot of battles, and I'm wondering if, yeah, we'll have to do a comparison there. But we're kind of, I know this is the Wheel of Time podcast, but for Rings of Power, we're expecting more battles and more intensity in season three.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
the
oh,
big stuff is coming. Yeah.
but yeah, I guess
Uh, yeah.
we'll have to see where that pans out. All right,
Yeah.
so
Let's
go
go
ahead,
to the
sorry.
second point.
Second point here. Oh yeah, so this is more on like the emotional front, not saying it was like done poorly. It's just like a gruesome part of the show is Hopper was killed, and I didn't like that. We could have done without that. How dare they? But I would say it was executed well, and it was just kind of a sad point in the episode. Putting that under the misunderstood category. Why must you kill Hopper?
Yeah, I will go. I'm gonna agree with that. Hopper was a great, great, good boy. He was. I mean, that was so. Yeah, goddamn. And also, let me make it even worse. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I am like 99% sure that he actually doesn't die in the books, and that he's actually supposed to be like a big part of Perrin's further development into the Wolf Brother. And it's like, why? Why would you choose to kill a good boy? Why? Like
Ah,
if he's not dying in the books, why would you choose this? Why would you do that? So I think it's just a very, very, very unfortunate choice, and I absolutely agree. Like it should not have been done, and it's very sad, and it's definitely on the Ugluk list.
oof. I didn't realize that, so that's good insight. So in the book, you didn't.
Yeah.
How dare they? How dare
I think as you said, like I think it works like the way they do it, like it causes interesting things, but it doesn't work. It's like why do you do this? Why would you do this if it's not in the books? And if it's so like so important for Perrin's character going forward, yeah, it's just like a poor choice to be very honest about that. But by the way, I have a fun fact here. I have Googled what the meaning of the first of the episode 7 means. Dae'mar. It means actually I'm gonna show you what it means because I think it's
Ooh, we gotta remember to upload this as a video.
yeah. Let me see if I can find the big. Okay, this should work. It means this.
It means Game
It
of
means
Thrones.
it means Game of Houses, or like I guess it could
Oh,
kind of be like Game of Thrones, because in that episode is the that moment where Moiraine's nephew tries to kill her because he's actually a dark friend who has sold his soul or whatever to Lanfear, or like to the Dark One. Lanfear comes over and tells him to kill Moiraine, and then his mother, Moraine's sister, like figures it out and captures him. So I guess that's like where it comes from, because he was like,
hmm.
"Oh, what did you think? How did we rise so fast, so quickly from the gutter we were in?" And actually, it's, yeah, okay, that actually does make sense. But yeah,
Oh,
Game of
was that what
Thrones.
you were hinting towards that in the previous recording we did?
What did they do?
You were talking
Or-
about how the rise and or like the fall and rise of her house would be important in future episodes. So,
Actually, no, no, no. This is something that's going to come to us in next season.
oh,
In
okay.
about in about four or five episodes. I'm not sure when it gets mentioned. I think in the fifth episode it gets like,
Hmm.
well, fourth and fifth. It's like a, you'll see. It's cool. But yeah, we can go to your third Ugluk, because actually so far we have been on point.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can go to the third one. We have been point for point.
all right. Third one on the list is oh, I put that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Rand slays Ishmael, being his
Ishamael.
threat. Ishmael.
Ishamael.
Ishmael. My
Yeah, there we go.
Americanness.
Nah, it's just
um,
fantasy. It's not the easiest thing.
so when he did that and ending the threat and revealing himself to the world as the dragon reborn, it's a 50-50. I kind of like the ritual of like the dragon and people chanting all that, but like they keep building this guy up, but he's super mysterious, and then he just, it's a cliffhanger, right? I'm assuming he's coming back because he's like this immortal guy. Maybe not, I don't know, but like how it was kind of laid out again, kind of similar to the death of Ingtar. It's just like, all right, big build up for this, and then you just kind of kill him, you know,
Yeah, very climactic.
in anticlimactic way. Like I'm expecting like for these guys to go down, there's gonna be like crazy sorcery and stuff like that, not just like a sword stab. Though I know they keep alluding to his sword being very important and all that. But yeah, that's kind of where I landed with that. I just wish it was. I don't know if they were able to build up the battle a bit more, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually, so we for the all the countless of people listening to this, we make this list on our own. We don't like say what's on our lists. However, this time, like match for match for match, at least for this category. Yeah, I agree. Rand slays the Shamal, and it's like, what? Yeah. So you remember I said like I have this friend who, he read the books, he knows the books pretty well. So I'm not quoting him, but I remember from some talks. But so I could be misremembering. But I think from what I remember when I watched this for the first time, second season, like a couple months ago, I think he told me, or I heard it on one of the videos, that actually the crew, like the five friends, were not only Rand was on the tower, and it was an epic duel between him and Ishamal, and for whatever reason they decided to put him put all of them there, and actually Rand is then for the most part of the battle actually not doing anything. Like it's so anticlimactic, and like compared to the books, he is apparently very nerfed, basically.
Hmm.
It's just a lot of not good choices. So for now, so until now, it's like two finales of the first two seasons are not good, are not very
Hmm.
good, like very mediocre. you could say maybe the first one was even bad. This one, if not bad, it's like very mediocre. It's just like, is this like, one of the middle episodes of the season? Because that's how it feels like. It feels like just nothing crazy is happening, even though it's
Mhm.
like this big prophesized clash that's going to be the reveal and the announcement of the dragon to the world. And yet here we are. And one
Yeah.
more thing, actually, also regarding, let me see if I can pull up a photo. Uh, I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not. I can't find a nice, more specific photo. But like, also there was the whole moment where Nynaeve is trying to heal Elaine because she gets hit with a crossbow bolt, and that was also like just dragging and like. I mean, sometimes some things are just hard to translate to the screen, and that's fine. But it just felt like they managed to climb in like what felt like 15 minutes to climb to the top of the highest tower of the city while Elaine cannot, she has a bolt in her leg. They crossed the city and climbed up. Yeah, and I mean, there's also like Matt, and this. I think we'll probably get to this in a second, but just a quick to wrap up the Ugluk category. Like Matt summons the heroes of the horn by blowing the horn of Valere, and then like the soldiers that were charging at them, they do not react. They just like okay, there's like it's like a slow motion moment, right? But you see them like charging towards each other. The time slows down, and these heroes are forming from the mists, and then it speeds up and goes to normal speed, right? And it's like these people. It's like if I was a soldier and I'm rushing towards this one guy, it's like $100, and we're rushing towards him, and then suddenly it's like 20 really cool looking warriors that just literally show up out of thin air, and you're not gonna stop. You're not gonna have like a little, oh no, what's happening here? Like it's just so many little things that just completely throw you out of the episode. It's a shame because it's like so much promise, right? If you put this on like like we read this like recaps of the episode so we can like plan out what we're gonna talk about, and it's like if you just read the sentence, like okay, that's dope. Like I don't know. Let's see. Rand slays Ishamael, ending his threat and revealing himself to the world as the Dragon Reborn. Right? It's like, come on, it's not really that cool. Matt, cornered, blows the horn of Valere, summoning legendary heroes of the horn, turning the tide of the battle. It just sounds so cool, and it's like just getting like a non-alcoholic lemony beer instead of like a proper Guinness or something.
And you brought up like one of the joke kind of things I thought of when when I was rewatching this. When you mentioned the leg getting shot with the arrow and her having trouble
Yeah.
using her powers. I was thinking of like performance anxiety, like with guys, specifically. It's like she's having that. She needs some medication to help her get through the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I do respect that they keep this arc of Nynaeve that actually does come to like there's a cool development season 3. Like there's a cool arc for Nynaeve,
Hmm.
and sadly we might not see where it leads.
Oh.
But yeah, I will get to that. But yeah, anyway, I guess do you have any either comments, or shall we move to the Groot, the good stuff?
Yeah, I think we can move to the Groot. I guess the final thing I would say about the Uglugs is just like it is interesting to see um similar choices that were made in Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. It's both Amazon. I think they're using the same teams or sharing employees. But like, yeah, the whole slow motion shots, like that was big in Rings of Power too. Like, it seems like they were trying to create almost like a new style. Unless, yeah, I'd like to think I watch a lot of content. It's just it seems like Rings of Power specifically are really leaning into those slow motion shots. Like you think of the Galadriel riding on the beach with the horses and stuff like that.
Mm,
And yeah, so it seems like they are trying to. I don't. Maybe it's slightly experimental. They're trying to come up with like new, cool ways of telling stories. But yeah, that I guess that's my final thing. Is it's interesting that similar choices were made in both shows.
yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Uh, uh, yeah, hopefully they can just figure out how to be better. with balance, because it's not necessarily that it cannot work. Like it's just like about using it in a more efficient way, and
Hmm.
it feels like they haven't cracked this. But we are moving to the Groot. So hit me. What's a good thing you liked in the previous two episodes?
All right. So episode 7, the game of the houses. Barthanes, is that how you pronounce it?
I think it's just Barthanes.
Barthanes, that sounds cooler. I'm gonna go with that. He was revealed to be the Dark Friend and is ordered by Leandrin to kill Moiraine, but is caught and imprisoned by his um, mom, basically, right?
Yeah.
And why I put that under the Groot is that was another plot that I just didn't see coming at all. It's kind of like unless there's hints and I rewatch it and like, oh crap, there's things right in front of me. But at least first viewing, did not expect it at all. Kind of reminds me of like like Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. You don't know that they're sisters. You don't know that his father's Darth Vader. And part of
Mm.
that is like because the story wasn't written yet, so he didn't know it was going to end up being his father, right? So it seems almost like I don't know if the author did that, where he's like, I don't know where this character is going to go, and then, oh yeah, this would be cool. He just totally betrays his family. Like, yeah, that's kind of how at least it seemed to me and how it played out in the show. It was just complete shock. It seems like a person who really loved Moraine and was looking to impress her and stuff and turn to the dark side, if you will.
Uh, I will indeed, and I think I actually saw on the rewatch. I saw the hints.
Ooh.
I do remember. I think when I watched the first time, I think there were like a few moments where I was like, okay, there could be like more to this. Like I felt like there could be like an extra layer to this. But I did not also like see this coming until it happened. Except that this guy was like, I don't I don't want to be like, you can see on his face, like, nothing against the actor. He just looks like a dude. But I feel like often you can get like this kind of like I don't know if this is just my brain putting into one category characters that don't necessarily fit with each other. Like maybe I'm just how do you say this? Like, connecting things that don't make sense, like seeing something
Hmm.
when there is nothing. But I feel like kind of like his aesthetic, like the cat, like the pale skin, blonde hair. Like it's just
Hmm.
to me, it kind of reminds me of like what could usually be a villain. Like blonde, pale dudes tend to be villains more, maybe kind of. I don't know if it's like
Sounds
a
like
trope or I'm just.
prejudices.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
no.
I mean, but if it is like, if it is a thing, like it's Hollywood's doing, right? But again, it could be that I'm just imagining it. But anyway, the hints for this were like, so there was that conversation between the lady is very cool. What is her name? Let's shout out her name. Anveer, Moraine's sister, right? So she
Hmm.
says, we hear, we have been in the gutter. I have begged for food. Like it was really bad. They were treating us so poorly. However, I have spent my entire life dragging us out of this. And now my son is going to marry the queen. And it's like, when you think about it, like that's an insane like comeback. Like to go from one of the most powerful houses, so not like the royal house something, but like one of the most powerful houses, you fall down so low, like a few decades ago, and then you manage to get to the level where your son is
Hmm.
marrying the guy of the family is marrying the queen, like and without saying, oh yeah, he saved her life, or like, oh, he won this huge battle, like we don't get to hear why. Like maybe, okay, if the son suddenly becomes a super cool general, does some wins an epic battle, like, okay, it's logical that he will then get reinstated as like a highly respected person. But like there was this like, okay, something might have happened there.
Hmm.
But yeah, another thing is like, what you said about him liking or loving his aunt. I do think it's true. Like he was kind of like shocked, or like he was like unwilling to do it when Lanfear first told him to do it, but then he does accept it because he did make this dark deal.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. I just want to say, like, I think the hints were kind of there, but it's like one of these things that it just rewards watching the show again. Like that's what I said. Like when we started this, like I think the show actually has all rewatchability because the books
Hmm.
are presumably so terrific and
Hmm.
they're praised for a reason. So it's like when you have this, you can saw this little. That's why Game of Thrones was such a great thing to rewatch, right? Like especially like the first several seasons were really good. But yeah, anyway, I kind of rambled about this a little bit. What did I spark something? Like, do you have a
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
something.
response?
I guess the other thing is, and this is like another it's like kind of like a cheat sheet for this medium of like shows and movies, is like they were focusing a lot on him, so that was the only thing putting him on my radar of like, okay, this
Mm,
character is going to do something. Like they wouldn't waste screen time on him if he wasn't. But I was going kind of towards the path of, I thought what would happen is he would want to impress Moraine, so he would do something stupid that like causes like something horrible to happen. Like, and maybe that's what this is, of him uh going towards the dark friend side, and maybe there'll be some line in the future where he's like, well, like I did this for the family, or I don't know. But
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of where I landed with that. But yeah, it was definitely a complete surprise for me. So like refreshing, it's hard to
Mm,
surprise nowadays. This was a good one.
yeah. All right. I mean, I agree. So yeah, let's move to the next one. What's your second Groot?
Second Groot, I have Matt overcomes the dagger's corrupting influence and escapes from his like room. I thought that was kind of cool. I haven't read the books and all that yet, but it's kind of like a cool idea that you have a weapon that you can use that's super powerful against other people, but you have to be super careful with it, because if you handle it wrong, you can end up basically killing yourself with it. I just thought there was something cool about that, of like he's wielding something that, yeah, one wrong move or someone gets a hold of it, like it's super dangerous. So yeah, I really like that. I mean, sometimes simple things make me happy, and that was one of them.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, Matt is pretty cool. Matt is a cool dude. And I think the actor is quite charismatic and like really, I think also like really, um, what's the word? Like persuasive as a character, you know. So yeah, I think I agree. I was wondering like how they will do this, and he managed to just like wrap up the knife to the or the dagger to like a tip of a staff. So that was cool. I will say that. So what is on my Groot? Okay, so it's not yet Matt's turn. Um, I will, if you don't mind, I'll go to my
Yeah.
point, or do you have another comment to it? No.
Oh yeah, jump to yours.
All right. So let me just find the photo. This, well, it's not this picture, but their relationship, Wayne and Rena. The actress did a kick-ass job. Portraying Rena, and of course the actress portraying Egwene. We talked about in the previous episode. She's terrific. I think that was very interestingly done, and the way it ends with Egwene putting the how's that thing called? The
The
I'm gonna dig
leech,
up the
or
name. The Adam to collar Rena, and they have that standoff, and like I mean the way after everything Egwene has went through, and like her hair actually getting cut off, which is like a huge thing. I think they basically don't cut it, or like there's like it's a very important cultural thing in the Two Rivers, because if you look, like Nynaeve has it as well. And when we go, if we, when we go back to, because we'll have a point where we go back to the Two Rivers in season 3, we'll see something there. Like women have hair in that way, so her hair getting cut off and so on. Like it made really rewarding this final encounter with Rana. I thought that was, for me, that was a good moment of Egwene just taking over and like wrestling back control of her life. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
hmm. Yeah, I think I have a piece of that on my bat list, so we can
Mm.
revisit too when that comes up
Okay.
again. But totally agree.
All right. Then you can go to your next point if you want.
All right, next on my Groot list is yeah, this would be my third Groot. The when Rand is shielded and tricked into wounding Matt, basically.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, the other way around.
or
Matt
being
wounds
wounded.
Rand
Oh yeah. Sorry, you're right.
while
Um,
Rand is shielded.
while Rand is shielded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I like that because then the earlier vision comes true. I thought that was cool. So yeah, basically Matt not accompanying Rand in the previous episode or episodes. It didn't matter. It was like, destiny. He was gonna end up stabbing him.
Mm.
So I thought that was cool. And it was another like I wasn't really I don't know what it is with the writing or the editing, but a lot of the stuff it surprises me. So I was pretty surprised that that happened. So it was another pretty good scene this episode, and yeah, I like overall like the surprises between these two episodes.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that was for me as well. Oh, I didn't see that coming. um, okay, so I'll go with my last two root points. So skipping to the very end of the whole episode 8 story, we meet Mogideon. She is one of the other Forsaken, and she is the person I told you that's going to be very interesting to watch in season 3. The
Ooh,
actress is like she gives the Lanfear and the actress portraying Lanfear, she gives them like character wise and acting wise, absolutely a run for their money. She's really terrifying. It's season 3,
wow,
so we don't have to go much deeper into that, or we can maybe like at the end of the episode. Yeah, I was just gonna say like that was really cool for me. So definitely going on my really good stuff list.
awesome! Well, yeah, you gave me a lot of teasers for season 3. I'm excited.
Yeah, and there was another point. Let me see if I can find a nice photo for that. But basically, in episode 7, we had so the Amerlin seat comes over to Kyrian, and she's there. We have the standoff, like a confrontation, and she meets Rand, and she decides we have like the mission has failed. We haven't like Rand isn't ready, so I cannot let him wander around because either he'll be corrupted by the dark or he'll just go nuts. So she decides that she wants to imprison him. However, Moiraine and a couple of her fellow sisters and Lan and so on, they manage to free Rand and then they escape. And but yeah, I thought like that moment where as they're about to try to leave through the Waygate, Suan confronts them, but Lanfear defeats her and actually defeats her with like very easily and opens the gate, and then Rand, Moraine, Lan, and Lanfear they leave together. So I thought that was an interesting scene, even though it kind of felt a little bit clunky. I feel like the actors really are just standouts, all of them. So it works. And also it's kind of like connected to this is the fact that we saw as like an intro to this episode, so episode 7, we saw the two ladies here. We saw that flashback that they witnessed the prophecy about what's going to happen. And we saw that they actually split. So they were like planning, they were talking about how they're gonna leave, they're gonna live in somewhere like next to the river, like, the fisherman's daughter and like this heiress of this great noble house, just like loving each other and just having a nice life. However, as destiny often does, they see this prophecy, they decide, okay, Moiraine is going to go look for the dragon and try to prepare him, while Suan Sanche is going to try to become the Amryn seat and then prepare the tower to support the dragon. Because there are different approaches that people in the tower have towards what to do with when the dragon shows up. Some of them want to, cage him. Some want to you know, go with him. Some of them I want to use him in a different way. So yeah, we got all this revealed, and then it was really sad to see Suan being launched by Lanfear, I don't know, 10 meters away on the ground, saying, Moiraine, please don't. And Moiraine turns around, leaves with the Forsaken and Rand, and it's like it was a very big sad moment. So I thought that was a pretty good scene. So yeah, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool to get the backstory, and I think it helped add the weight to the Lanfear scene where she gets knocked to the ground, she's bleeding, and I think that is a cliffhanger, right? We don't know what happens to her after that, as of end of this episode, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it did a good job. I like how it added a little bit to the world too, of seeing how they got the origin basically of the prophecy. Yeah, agree with everything you said.
All right. Well, that actually ties perfectly to one of my points on my, because we can now move to the bat, the awesome. Let me just put this photo because it's really cool, so we can see Batman because he's awesome. So we are moving to the bat, and this ties in perfectly because on my list is this and this moment, things that are leading to this, because Lan has, he and Moraine have hit a rough patch because they thought she got cut off from the one power. However, Lan he was paying attention. He was being a good man. He was listening. He was paying attention to everything. He spoke to Logain, and after putting different things together, because he spoke to some of the Aes Sedai and so on and so on, he figures out, he has this suspicion, but it's like an educated guess, but he really put an effort into doing his research, and he has this suspicion that actually Moiraine hasn't been completely cut off, she hasn't been stilled by Shamael, only shielded. And because it was done by Shamael, who is a man, and he's using this one, the man half of the one power, and the way magic works here, the weaves of only a man can see the weaves of another man. And it turns out that Shamael tied these strands of the weaves of the one power into a knot, and Rand had to figure out how to cut it and bring it back. And Lan figured all of this out, so Rand could then get Moraine back to the one power. And I thought that was a pretty cool moment. I think the way the whole thing happened. And those are actually kind of my 2 points, basically. My first 2 points: Lan figuring everything out, and then the way Rand manages to do something very specific and kind of a sensitive thing with the one power. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I have my last point, where we can get to it in a minute. So what do you think of that? Do you have any what did it make sense to you? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it makes sense, and I guess a question maybe you can answer is, um, when someone is stilled, right? Like they thought Moraine was stilled, right?
Mm.
Um, if you're stilled, can that be reversed, or
No, I don't think so. I think that's one of the ones. If that happens, you're gone.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I had a feeling, and that I wouldn't want Moraine to be stilled for the rest of the show. Like that'd be painful. Like she's, really good character. You want to see her doing cool stuff. So I'm glad well, I guess it ties back to the author. He's like, no, if this character's awesome, we got to make sure she can have her power. So coming up with her being, I think, shielded, was that the word?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I really like that. I thought it was another cool twist, really. And that scene, I love how it kind of all culminated together, and the confrontation near the God, I'm calling it a portal, but it is a foregate, right? Or
Waygate.
no, Waygate. Jeez.
Forgate was the town that they were in the beginning of the episode of the season, where he meets Celine and so on.
Which is a good segue into my first bat. There we
All
go.
right, there we go.
So smooth. Um, yeah, so my first bat was because I have a crush on Lanfear, which is
Fair,
crazy,
which is
but true.
no,
Um, totally rational.
no,
Um,
totally. That's yeah. I
just
mean,
her
bro.
attack. Yes. Sorcerer, yeah. 100% Lanfear crush. Hopefully at Comic Cons there's some Lanfear cosplay. She her attack on Foregate was really cool. I loved it, like the chaos, reminds me of great battle scenes, and it's just cool seeing how effortlessly she's causing destruction. So um really love that. So the first bat was just the execution of Lanfear being awesome.
Yeah, I mean, actually, let me consult, but yeah, I think that's yeah. So the last point on my list is on my awesome list is exactly that. Lanfear, so Rand convinces Lanfear to help him escape, and she attacks the Forgate, create and like she creates like all this chaos, distracts Suan, distracts like the Aes Sedai, and gives them the chance, it gives them this opening for him to flee. So actually, yeah, exactly like this. I couldn't agree more. I thought that was pretty cool, and I think it's just really interesting to see how strong she is, and like the actress just nails it so much. Like she's like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this again," or something like this, and like, but I don't know, she's really good, and I feel like the channeling is is just done in quite a good way. I feel like, especially I think in even season three it gets even better. Like the magic just looks pretty good, and Lanfear just kicking ass across 4K was absolutely terrific. One of my favorite moments for sure. You got anything else on
100%.
that awesome list?
Yeah, I think I got two more. I got two more.
All right, I'm done with mine, so we can go with both of yours.
So Egwene uses a second Adam to leash Rena, forcing her to release her control, and then kills her using the collar. I think we talked about that a little bit earlier, but yeah, I thought that like this was like one of those comparison Game of Thrones type scenes that I think was executed well. Like it was like a gruesome death. There was like meaning behind it. It wasn't just gruesome to be gruesome. It's like this is payback for all the torture that she's been going through this entire season. So I think it was earned, and I think it was executed greatly. So that was my second bat, and just the dynamic between the two actresses is great as well. It's really well done.
It is. Let me see if I can. That was a very cute photo, actually. If I can find it. I just really enjoyed it. So it's not a very good resolution, but you can see it here. It's just like the two actresses just having a nice time behind the scenes, and that's always lovely to see. So yeah, just a little. I found this when I was looking for the photos for this, so I just really sweet to see that. Yeah. Anyway, you can if you want, you can move to the next. Actually, just a quick comment. This actually reminds me of the fact that for people who uh, what's his name? I just want to show you something. It makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So for those who remember who have seen Game of Thrones, um, there's actually a similar dynamic between two other characters, even though I think it's way terrible. These two dudes,
Reek.
Reek
Yep.
and or Theon and Ramsay. I mean Ramsay is one of the all-time goats of villains on TV, but the two actors are just like the cutest bromance behind the screen, and it's just adorable. And it's just a lot of fun to see like like something terrible like there's just like something terrible going on. It's like the actors behind just having the best time. It's just nice. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to your next point
Right, my
on the list.
final bat, and we kind of discussed this a bit, so I have to kind of caveat it, but it's Matt blowing the horn of Valere, uh, summoning the heroes, and turning the tide of battle. So this might be a plus for the book, but maybe not a plus for the show. Like I like this kind of magic and world building of like, oh, there's like an artifact that can be used to summon, epic warriors like that. Like so thought that was really cool. it's semi unique, at least in modern adaptations and stuff. Like you don't really see many artifact driven resurrections. Maybe the closest I can think of right now, which is kind of yes no, is the King of the Dead and Return of the King and
Mm,
all that, where Andoril going in there, yeah, blah blah blah. So similar to that, but different enough. But so the pros, how it was written, I would say is good. Execution wise, like when the show was explaining like the horn and everything, I'm like, oh, what I was anticipating was it would summon like an army, like a
yeah,
lot of people. So I was like, that would be cool, but just like 25 people, or I don't, maybe that's less than
not
that, I
even.
think. What, yeah, it's like 10 people. It's like I mean, it's still cool. Yeah, it's magic and you're summoning people, but I think they overhyped the horn quite a bit. And one of the ghosts or resurrections, if you will, they take the horn. So the horn's gone now. So it seems like you
It's
can
not.
only.
It's not. It's around.
Oh, it's around. Okay.
I'll just tell
Does
you right away. Like it's not a video. It's just it's around. Like it's somewhere. They just took it so Matt can fight. Just ignore the man
okay.
behind the curtain.
Gotcha. It does, and I guess you can tell me. I don't care for much if this is a huge spoiler or not. But like, is the horn like within walking distance, or does it respawn somewhere?
No, no,
And
it's there. Like he'll just have it with
oh,
him.
he'll just have it. Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay,
it's
so
around.
that could be
It's
cool.
just.
And you can use it as much as you want, basically.
I think so.
Oh,
The way I understand it, I think so. Yeah.
so that's yeah. So I guess the concept is awesome. There was some cool, like the shots were beautiful and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. It was pretty cool. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
that's fair. I think that was. I mean, I just really like Matt, and I think actually this. So the interesting with this actor, he kind of reminds me of a dude that I was flatmates with for I don't know about half a year, like 2 years ago. We were like, he was a really cool dude. We were not like super close. He moved out fairly soon. The rest of us stayed in this apartment, whatever. But he just reminds me of this good guy who I thought was a really like stand up dude,
Hmm.
and the actor kind of reminds me of him, so I like him even more. But I feel like the actor is just really owning this role, and it's I think it's really hard to not like Matt. I think he might be like the most relatable. I think he's the most relatable for me, and then Perrin.
Hmm.
Like the actor, just kick-ass job, absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you're saying this actor and Matt, and the other actor did like a really good job of being
He did.
miserable. Like, like he like his suffering and all that was just so believable. But it's just like it's hard to be friends with someone that's so miserable and suffering. But it's like kind of cool to see that. And I guess it sucks that the original actor didn't get to experience a
Yeah,
story arc where he becomes a hero. So I'm sure like he would have
it's a
knocked out the
shame. Yeah,
park.
for sure.
But yeah, seeing this Matt, like there is like a level of likability, kind of like I don't know, the twinkle in his eye or something. It's just like you want to
Mm.
root for
Yeah,
Matt.
there's just I mean, he has this actually. I mean, the actor himself as well, but like the way he portrays, so it's like the combination of math and the actor. He has that a little bit of that like roguish charm, where it's like like a rogue with a heart of gold. Like he's a good dude. Like you can see that he's struggling. There's problems. There's bad things, but like his heart is like in the right place, and you cannot help but just root for him with your whole heart. And I feel like they really nail it. Like I just love that. I think he might be my it's between him and Perrin. It's a hard competition there. I'm not sure which one I prefer more.
And then because we're Fellowship of Fans, we should call out that the guy to the left of Matt looks like he's wearing a Gondorian helm. He got the seagull wings.
That's fair. That's a cool armor though, and they look cool. Like in all fairness, yeah, there's like literally like 10 of them, maybe, but he looks really cool for sure. And actually, the interesting thing is this one guy comes back. Let me see if I can find the photo of him. That one guy that got killed by the Xianchan, like he's got
I
spiked on a horn. He comes back as one
Oh,
of these.
Yeah.
like that guy with the eye patch.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah,
cool. Like, cool reunion.
yeah, but it's such a shame because these things don't hit nearly as much as they should because there's no time. Like the pace just has to keep just has to keep unraveling,
They need to
which
make the
is a
wheel
shame.
bigger.
Yeah, we should get the wheel back and then make it bigger. Um, okay, so some final thoughts. First thing, I'll start off by saying I remember watching, like watching the first time and also watching the second time, but it was easier because I knew what was going to happen later. But I feel like in first season, the five main characters, the five friends, they don't have control over what's happening. They're kind of like reacting to everything. And then at the end of the previous season, they are kind of mostly in positions where they might have more agency.
Hmm.
But again, in this season, actually, they are again very reactive. Like a lot of them have to just like keep suffering through things. And I felt like that was kind of hard to watch. Like it's like you want the hero to start acting, not just reacting, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's an interesting thing that kind of bothered me in season two. It's like, oh, again they're split, again they all have to suffer. Like it feels like repetitive, but also it doesn't, and it makes sense. And also obviously it leads to like logical developments in season three. But I was just curious, like what was your did you have this feeling or was it like actually more smoother for you? Like did you have this feeling of, oh, I wish they had more agency in this season?
It's kind of funny. I didn't think that until you mentioned it, and now that's what I'm thinking. I think there's so many
Yeah.
timelines that are like, when they are split up, the different storylines that I'm like bouncing around, and it's hard to like analyze everything as I do this rewatch, or sorry, not rewatch, watch for the first time. Um, but yeah, I am craving more heroic things to occur. Like what we kind of like you're showing on the screen with Matt. Like it seems like the band was formed at the end of this season. So if season three starts with them breaking up again, then I'll be like, geez, this really is the wheel of time. Time just keeps repeating itself. But if they're more heroic in season three, then I would say that's probably the proper progression. Yeah, they got to learn to work together now and all that. And I'm sure there's going to be drama and people get split up at some point. But yeah, hopefully we get more heroic actions and bigger scale battles.
Mm. I think this particular aspect works better. I won't comment on it. I'm just speaking in very general terms, but I do feel like what I'm saying, what I said was the problem here. I don't think it's a problem in season three. I'll just say it like this.
Cool.
Okay, then what do you think? Actually, let's just comment real quick. There's something. So this dragon is announced. What did you think of this like graphic? And like what do you think of Moiraine and Lan fighting on that beach and like that whole thing?
Oh, it's tough. So I guess I'll comment on like CGI first. I thought the CGI was like passable, like slash good. Like it wasn't so bad that it took me out of it. I really liked how there was the people on the ships and they were, I don't know if they were shielding or whatever the term is, but they were kind of holding ran down. So I
Mhm.
liked like the kind of the battle by distance. Like you had Moraine attacking the ships from far away, and I liked that. I don't think I liked like the scale of their battle on the beach. Like that seemed a
Mm,
little strange, like two people against like a couple people. Like yeah, that part, like maybe it makes sense, like oh yeah, there's just a couple of guards on the outskirts, they find them, like yeah, but that seemed a little strange. But
I don't think it does. I don't think it makes sense as well. I'm with you.
okay, so that was a good question. But yeah, I like kind of how the battles were kind of expanding a bit. You had her kind of casting spells at a distance, which were attacking people that were also casting spells at a distance towards the tower. So I did like that. I like that, and then I thought the dragon graphic, or like in the sky, was pretty cool, and it kind of reminds you of like those epic scenes in Game of Thrones, like when Daenerys gets her dragon and stuff, and like or in House of the Dragons, we see that a lot when they're
Mm,
landing in different towns and causing fear. Like, so yeah, really
yeah.
like that.
All right. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I agree. I think it was interesting dynamic, but it's different than it is in the books. I've consulted
Uh,
my lore expert friend, and yeah, it's definitely different. They changed a lot of things, but I won't go into too many details. Also, just quick note: they reestablished the bond, and it turns out that when she said we were never equals, she meant that he was
oh,
the better one of the two of them. So that was all very interesting. And yeah, I think we can just do like a quick overall comment then on the quality of season two, maybe relative to season one, and then what uh what do you expect from season three?
okay, yeah.
Or if you want, you can do one part and then you can do however you want.
Um, yes, I'll comment on season one versus season two. So I think I made this comment in the past. I forgot if it was episode 4 or 5, but maybe it was the
Fine,
end of 4 to 5.
yeah,
That was the turning point for me for the show. So season two was definitely a step up from season one because there was a couple of things happening that got me really interested. And I feel like between that, so episode 4 and 5, and then the finale stuff that occurred that we really liked. Yeah, I would say season two is definitely a step up. And that could also be like, not to make excuses, but I feel like when you're building big worlds, there's kind of a lot of minutia you got to get through. So that could have hurt season one a bit. And then, as everyone complained about, it seems like, from my understanding, like the finale of season one kind of turned people off as well. So yeah, answered that. How about you?
yeah. I think I would pretty much agree. Season one was okay, actually quite solid overall, but the finale was bad. But we covered this. Like there was a lot of issues
Yeah.
that they had to face that most shows in the history of TV did not have to face, which it just makes sense that it ruined some of the things for them. But yeah, I think season two was definitely better, except the finale didn't sadly land very well. But it's like it's fine. It's
Hmm.
like if you have, okay, when we say finale, it's like a special episode, but it's like if you say a show has 70 episodes and then every 10th episode is not good, like that's not a bad average. However, obviously it is bad when it's like the combination of a story arc, but you know what I mean? Like it's like if it's all good and it's like this is like kind of mediocre, like it's still overall pretty good. So it is definitely a step up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to you watching season three. And
Nice.
I would like to ask, like, what's your? Do you have any like theories or like like things that you think we might see in season three, like anything like or expectations in general? What's your perspective on season
Wow.
three?
So I definitely heard that season three is like a huge step up from all the chatter. So I have managed to avoid all spoilers, which is insane because I feel like any other movie or something, I'm instantly spoiled. Like the second it's premiered in theaters or something, it's somehow there's gifts and stuff ruins things. Um, but yeah, so for Wheel of Time theories, I don't have like the show for whatever reason with this show, like I feel like Rings of Power, I'm able to make, maybe it's because you have the background with the books and all that, but I literally have no idea what's gonna happen in season three. Like you kind of hinted at there's a villain that's even crazier than Lanfear. So I'm assuming if I had to guess, she's replacing Isamil, if I'm saying it,
Shamel.
Shamel. um, God, one day I'll get his name right. So I guess my theory is going to be maybe he's not in the next season, or if he is, it's later on, and she's going to be taking the big bad role. And it seems like she doesn't play nice with Lanfear, so there could be some strife with them. And she used the dialogue, right, that all the Forsaken are now free, so maybe we'll get more Forsakens.
Hmm.
And I feel like if that's true and we're getting more Forsakens, then the group will have to work together, quote unquote, to fight more villains. I could see a situation where, yeah, now I'm spinning. I'm spinning like the wheel of time. There could be situations where, yeah, if there's multiple Forsakens out in the world, the team might have to split up again to face the different Forsakens. So it could be that. I'm trying to think. Oh, I wonder if there's going to be more to that nephew story. Cause like, yeah, she or not nephew slash son, I guess.
Yeah.
His mom, Bathanis, or pronounce his name
That's
probably wrong. Um, he's locked in a cell right now, so I'm wondering if other dark friends or the Forsaken are going to break him out of that jail, and he's going to be like still marry the queen and corrupt that side of, or that family, I should say. Like that could be a cool storyline. I just wish you could tell me if I'm hot or cold.
I think with this one, not too hot.
Not too
But
hot. Okay.
some of the other ones were pretty hot, which
Okay.
is funny because now we have the photo of Lanfear on screen. But yeah, I think yeah, I mean you're getting there. And the good news is you'll just gonna watch this like tomorrow or today even. So that's good.
Yeah,
And
might even
we'll
tonight.
chat about it soon. Yeah. Okay. Then I think we can leave it here. We took a little bit longer this time, despite our new structure, because I thought, okay, we have figured out the structure. We can talk about the finale season 2. It's also kind of wrapping up the whole season, and there's some things to talk about. Just like as a like a season retrospective. But I gotta say, I'm just very happy that we are doing this. I'm very happy you're enjoying it. I was sure you would, but it's good to know that I didn't just pull you in and it's like you're having a bad time.
That'll only happen if you make me watch Twilight. That is the one series I could not get into. I think I literally, so a history of all the media I've seen in my days, TV shows, Twilight is the only thing that I watched 5 minutes of and immediately turned it off. So I'm sorry for the Twilight fans out there, but that's the one one IP I can't get behind somehow.
I mean,
But yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will not be bothered with that.
Oh no.
It's all an acquired taste, right? Everybody has their
Yeah.
own preference, but it's interesting. Okay, but I guess the bar is not very high, but still, it's good that you're having fun. But yeah, anyway, I think with this we can wrap up. We will in the next episode of the podcast we will be covering episodes probably 1 and 2, but also maybe we do 1 to 3 actually because that's how they dropped them. Amazon did that thing where they dropped first 3 episodes and then do one by one for the rest of the season. So maybe we can even try to do this. Maybe we can try to cover first 3 because I think episode 4 actually will deserve its own episode. So actually, maybe we can try to do this, but we'll see. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this up. So thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thanks to Nerdigans, our friend and like ally and supporter, the chief supporter of this. Yeah, thanks to everybody who tuned in. If you haven't signed the petition to save Wheel of Time, you should absolutely go do this. A lot of people have put a lot of effort. Like people have hired and rented planes to fly over like LA and I don't know wherever else. And like they have rented billboards on Times Square. They have rented billboards in front of like Apple, in front of Netflix, in front of Sony, who is the owner of kind of the rights, and so on and so on. Amazon has stabbed us in the back with this quite gruesomely. So sadly, the show there doesn't seem to be a lot of hope, but let's see. So if you haven't, please go sign this petition. It's good for all of us to have high budget fantasy TV shows like on TV, like somewhere around there, because it's good for the whole market. If there are high quality epic fantasy TV shows, people who want to make new ones have to step it up, have to make a better one. So everybody wins. And anyway, yeah, I think with this we can wrap up. Thanks everybody. Yeah, until the next time. Take care and see you in a week. Bye bye.